Welcome back, viewers. We really appreciate you being here. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell so you don't miss anything exciting. We're going to see how quickly we can change an alternator with one hand because I'm holding the camera with the other hand. We got a 10mm, a 12mm, a 14mm, a box with an alternator, and a 97 Toyota. Oh, and a bungee cord to hold up my belt because I am doing one hand. And the only time we're going to be two hands is when I pause. Once I get everything loose, I will pause for a second so that I can two-handed physically pull the alternator out of there and physically set the other alternator in there. So doing what, 5 seconds added to the time. So now, are you ready to time me? Because 3, 2, 1, begin. Take the nut loose from top of the alternator. That aside, 10. That loose connector off. This other connector loose. This aside here. That. So we got 10 here. Enough. Switch to the 12. Because I'm older now and I've got 2 ruptured discs in my back and arthritis in my spine and all that neat stuff. So I'm not quite as quick as I used to be when I was younger. But I think we can still do this pretty quickly. Get rid of that. This would be so much faster with an air ratchet, but that would be kind of like cheating with it. So you can imagine this being, as quickly as we get this done, imagine this being even half of that time with air tools. So she's about loose now. That was the 12, 14. Oh, that's... Nope. I'll get that in a minute. Okay. We're ready. Like I said, we have to pause here because I have to have my second hand. Alright, so we've set the new alternator in place. Getting the bolts started takes 2 hands as well. And this one was, of course, the one I dropped and it's just simply laying underneath the car. Here, wait, here we go. Of course, we can run this down, but we can't put the final tightening on it until we do the adjusting of the belt. And the reason the belt hasn't fell is because of this bungee cord I used. Get that mostly tied. Not all the way. Let's see if we can get our belt to start with one hand. Got to loosen that up a little bit more. Down. get our belt started now. Almost. Loosen it some more. It can't be any faster than this. You're gonna have to move a little faster, and you probably have to cheat by cutting some of the adjusting out of the video. I don't have a clock here, so I don't know how good we're doing on time. Bungee cord done. Belt is on. Now we're going to switch to our 12 millimeter. I'm switching hands. I hope I'm not getting my fingers all in the camera. There we go. You see the alternator coming up. So we're adjusting. I wish the light was better for you guys, but we are in the barn. See, I'm turning the belt to get kind of an idea of just how nice and tight it is. Okay, that ought to be good. Tighten this bolt up. What I do with my ratchet? We'll have to do another video with air tools doing this to see just how much quicker we can be with air tools, because you hit that with the air ratchet and it's on there. There we go. Back to the 15. Or is that a 14? It's a 14. The 14 on here. Final torque on that. Go. Sockets back where they belong. I have the 10 millimeter. Be careful with seconds away from finishing. Wrench. Put it back where it belongs. It takes any longer to put something back where it belongs than to just lay it somewhere. Connector's on. And we're done. Let's see. So stop the time, because we know this is right. Car started. We have an alternator. So check out my other video where we'll check this and see what the voltage is at 2,500 RPMs and at idle, and with load we'll turn all the lights on and show you how to check and make sure it's working correctly. That'll be a separate video. But there, you guys let me know in the comments what kind of time you came up with. If you timed me, and see how long it took. And we'll catch you in the next video. Try to be careful. Remember, the most careful way, the best way to not get hurt doing stuff like this, burnt, bruised, and bleeding like I am all the time, is just pay somebody else to do it for you. Almost forgot this little bracket, so add whatever time this takes. There's an estimate of time, and it's a 5/16. And since I had to take the nut off to get the bracket off the other alternator, I also used the nut from the other alternator because it seemed to be a much better nut with more surface area to get hold of the nut. I like that better. It's a 5/16. So yeah, however many seconds that this alternator came from Amazon, and it is a little bit less than half of the price of the cheapest one I can find in the local parts store. So I will put a link in the description to that. So if you want to save some money on the alternator, this is a 97 Camry, but I'm sure whatever you're working on, it's also going to be cheaper to order it from Amazon than it will be from your local parts store, because they've got to mark it up or they can't stay in business. Okay guys, before you go, just one word of caution. Anything you want to do that you see in my videos or hear in my videos, do at your own risk. Now, you could make things worse, or you could end up burnt, bruised, or bleeding. After doing thousands, possibly tens of thousands of cars and passing over 50 certification tests, I still screw things up and I still get burnt, bruised, or bleeding. Heck, you could even wake up in the hospital one day or not wake up at all. So be careful, and remember, the most careful and painless way to fix your car is to pay somebody else to do it.